Despite an underwhelming junior year, one Baltimore State player decides to declare for the draft. It may not be who you think it is. For the second straight year, Baltimore State's in the running for the number one quarterback in the nation. Their only obstacle? The Oregon Ducks. After winning their first Conference USA championship, Baltimore State looks to move conferences. Will they move this year, and if so, where? Welcome to the Baltimore State Dynasty. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Craniac Gaming. This is Cass Cray back with another Baltimore State Dynasty video. And this is actually a recap of the offseason live stream that I did just a few days ago. For those of you guys that missed it, it was about an hour and a half stream. I know not everybody wants to go back and watch an hour-long stream, or even a 2-hour-long stream for that matter. So I'm going to break it down for you guys. So first we looked at the stats. Nico Riles actually ended up having more touchdowns and less interceptions than Franklin Jones, which kind of factored into him taking the starting job full-time. Unfortunately, he didn't have a lot of time to be the starter for Baltimore State. He only started a handful of games in his career. He was on the team for the first 3 seasons, obviously, just as the third string behind Jones and Lewis Gibson. But he did pretty well. Jones probably going to be the starter next year, but who knows. Josh Seymour got over 1,000 yards on the ground this year. Miles Reed had a good season as well. Looking at receiving, Jadarius Duncan and Javier Harewood fell short of 1,000 yards. Duncan was 49 yards off, unfortunately. And this was his senior year, so that's the last you're going to see of him. And we look out at offensive line. Jamarcus Hutton gave up 9 sacks. Bobby Williams only gave up 8. I'm kind of surprised by that. I thought he gave up more than that. And Isaiah Kegler led the team in tackles. Dwight Patrick led in tackles for a loss. And actually, Kevin Hodges ended up leading the team in sacks this year with 16. Even though Lynn Collier and Dwight Patrick playing on the outside, you'd think Hodges would get less sacks, but he had 16. Most of the sacks were basically on guys when they were trying to scramble out of the pocket, so I think all of their stats got really inflated. Taquan Clay led the team in interceptions with 4. Everybody else who had an interception only had 1 each. A lot of dropped interceptions by Brad Brown and a lot of other guys. You see Brown has 11 deflections. Most of those are dropped interceptions. And like I said, Brown's probably not going to be playing cornerback. You're going to have to watch the rest of the video to find out what position he is playing. Baltimore State is losing a few players to graduation, including Demrick Cole, Nordley Ford, and Taquan Clay. Those are the 3 starters leaving. But they do get 8 starters back, and that's pretty big because this is one of the best defenses in the nation this past year. And they're only going to get better heading into next year. Philip Hayden only missed 1 field goal this season and didn't miss a single extra point, so good on him. Aaron Manley had 44 punts this year. Not too many. The offense did a pretty good job of at least getting a field goal on every drive, if not a touchdown. So Manley didn't have a lot of opportunities to punt, but he did get 13 inside the 20. Only 6 touchbacks, so that's a pretty good percentage of kicks inside the 20. And we look at kick returning. Javier Harewood actually had a kick return for a touchdown once he took over kick returning. So we go to the coaching carousel. We have 2 new coaches. Mark Hudspeth is the offensive coordinator. I believe he was the old head coach of UL Lafayette, so we'll be using their playbook. We also have Mike Lucas as defensive coordinator. Now we look at players leaving, and a big shocker right here. Aldrin Johnson leaving school early to go to the NFL draft. He's projected to be a 5th rounder. And it's kind of crazy because he didn't have that great of a season, yet he goes 5th round. He only had 500 yards, not too many touchdowns. But all in all, I'm happy for him. And I already mentioned the players we lost on defense. Offensively, our key losses are Nico Riles, obviously Aldrin Johnson as well, Rayshon Griffin, and fullback Antoine Tracy. So we're going to miss all those guys, but it's time to move on. And we did get a transfer from Virginia, Evan Woods, the defensive tackle. 69 overall. We'll see what we can do with him once he's able to play. Looking at our current signings, we do have a 1 5-star signing in CJ McCray, the son of head coach Charles McCray. And we're going to have to see who else we can get. The main guy we're looking at right now is Zach Cole. Cole's the top quarterback in this recruiting class out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He's a pocket passer. Now, we did get the top quarterback last season in Jesse Garner, but you can never have too many quarterbacks for the future. And Cole looks to be one of the quarterbacks for Baltimore State, although we have to beat out Oregon to get him. And unfortunately, we did not. Oregon ended up winning by less than 1,000 points. We could have added another 1,000 to him and took it off another one of those guys we just offered just to offer. but unfortunately we missed out on him. But we did sign Fred Kane. Fred Kane is an athlete who can also play quarterback, so it might end up working out for us. We did also sign Keith Jones, the guard. Justin Alston and Mark Brock also signed, but we did miss out on a few other guys here. As you see, we missed out on Gary Moore, who ended up going to Ohio State, missed him by 1,000 points. Dan Brodian, who was a created guy from one of my subs, also is another guy we missed out. And then two guys we were also looking at also signed to Oregon to go along with Zach Cole over there. We missed out on Cody Jordan, so both the Jordan twins we ended up missing out on. I forget where his twin brother went, but I don't believe it's Boston College, so the Jordan brothers won't be playing together in college at least. And to round out the guys that we missed out on, we also missed out on Avery Henderson, JB Rivers, Andrew Foster, and Michael Dykes, as well as Demetrius Blackwell. And we ended up getting 2 5-star recruits in CJ McCray and Fred Kane. So we ended up with the 37th ranked recruiting class. Not too shabby. Could have been a little better, but also could have been a whole lot worse. So now we go to position changes, and I finally decided to move Shelton Bentley to wide receiver. He could stretch the field out as a tight end, but I feel like we need more veteran leadership at receiver, so it'll be Harewood, Bentley, and Blackwood at receiver as the top 3. In order to fill the void that Bentley leaves at tight end, we decided to move Marcus Morgan over to tight end. I'm going to boost his awareness because his awareness is going to drop to like 27. Usually when you switch guys' positions, their awareness drops a whole lot, so I want to make sure it gets up to at least like a 50 or something like that. We decided to move Brad Brown to free safety after we looked at quarterback. Quarterback, he's a 74 overall, so he doesn't really help us this season, and he'd probably be behind Jesse Garner for the rest of his career. So we moved him to free safety, and he actually gets up 5 overall points for what that's worth. He's pretty good in zone coverage. We moved Deontay Muhammad back to corner. He looks to be one of the 2 starters across from Patrick Suttle. And now we answer the question of where is Fred Kane going to play for the Stallions? Now, he's a really good quarterback and a really good running back, but I decided to put him at quarterback just because I feel like we have more of a need at quarterback after Franklin Jones leaves. I mean, he could move to running back, but it's just like running back is kind of a logjam as it is. So I decided to put him at quarterback, at least for the time being. And we look at the rating increases. As you see, Jesse Garner and James Jimenez both increased by 5 points, 5 overall points, that is. And overall, a lot of these guys really improved. And that kind of thing always happens when you end up winning a big bowl game like the Orange Bowl. Don't believe me? Win a bowl game like that, and you'll see your guys' stats skyrocket in training. And we look at receiver. We have Harewood getting up to a 91. You saw Josh Seymour got up to a 90, and Franklin Jones get up to 99. And Josh Bryant and Carlos Starks get over 80 as well. Ricky Lee Perry Paul at 79, so he's on the fringe of being an 80 overall player. Todd Renner looks to be the starting tight end now at 74 overall. And as you can see, everybody on the offensive line is over 80 overall, so hopefully they do a better job of protecting Franklin Jones this year. Kevin Hodges is only an 85 overall right now, and he's won the Lombardi Award the past 2 seasons, so that's kind of confusing. I would hope he'd be up to a 90, but I guess nobody really jumps up that far. But going up to 85 from 79 is a pretty good jump. And you look at Nick Wentworth now an 88 overall, Lynn Collier a 92 overall, Isaiah Kegler, the defensive captain, at 94 overall. Cedric Mosier Dalton is only a 70, so it doesn't look like he's going to start at middle linebacker this year. Dwight Patrick at 89, so it looks like Patrick, Kegler, and Collier will all get drafted after this season. So losing Taquan Clay and moving Brad Brown to safeties kind of left a void at corner. Suttle and Muhammad are 81 and 80 overall, respectively. Brad Brown up to a 92 now that he's playing free safety. Derek Wade right behind him at 83. And former starting strong safety Cole Wynn will get his starting job back this season. He lost it after season 1 after just being a really bad tackler, but we'll see what he does this year. Now let's address the conference situation. A lot of people were asking me what I was going to do conference-wise. People were telling me I should move up to the ACC or something like that. Look, guys, I already said earlier in the season, I'm committing to one more season in Conference USA, and then I'll move conferences. I'm glad I won the conference championship this year, but I want to defend it for at least one season. I want to see if anybody else can challenge me for this conference before I decide to jump ship to another conference. So one more season in Conference USA, then I'm going to the ACC next year. So as you guys can see, Baltimore State's going to begin the season ranked 21st in the nation. We're going to open up against Maryland like we've done for the past 3 seasons. Then our Pac-12 opponent's going to be Oregon, and we're going to play at Oregon, and then we play at Auburn, who's number 4. Then we get a bye week, and then we play our conference schedule. So that's the end of the recap of the live stream for the offseason. Make sure you guys hit that like button. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit the sub button for more NCAA Football 14 Dynasty content. And if you guys want to help support the channel, go cop yourselves one of these Craiggasm shirts right here. Link's going to be in the description. If you guys want to talk to me about sports, music, or anything else, best way to reach me is on Twitter. My Twitter account is @CazCray, CazCray. So give me a follow. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, night, or whenever you're watching this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out of here. Deuces.